Hi, it's Chris and Patrick again in Malawi. We're going to talk about rental increases. I mean, in our area in South Yorkshire, we find high demand, low supply, which in turn is pushing up rents. How is it in Coventry, Patrick?
So rents in Coventry are at the highest, as they are all around the country, but by about almost 30%. So we've gone from around 695, 75 for 3 bed to 1150 in 3 years.
I mean, we've noticed a substantial increase in Rotherham, certainly. And as I say, properties go on the market, and we have a lot of enquiries on them. But then it becomes the affordability index at some stage,
Yes.
as to whether people can afford these high rents. But as I say, it's the government has just seems to have got this all so wrong in that managing the process. We've talked about EPCs, we've talked about the Renters Reform Bill have frightened landlords off. We're finding that landlords are selling, exiting the market, which is causing a supply problem. Demand is still high, and obviously as a consequence of rents are going up. And I know that, so I don't know why the experts and the boffins and the government don't understand this, but it's crazy. But obviously we've got the Conservative Party conference whilst we've been away. We'll see what comes up and see if Michael Gove can give any clarity on where we're actually going.
There are so many factors though on rent increases. If you read social media, it's because we're all greedy landlords. There is an element of opportunity there, I suppose. But in reality, I mean, I am a landlord. I own quite a big portfolio, and we regularly replace boilers. There goes £2,500. We do whole roofs. There goes £6,000. We did start doing work on EPC updates, which we stopped because we couldn't see it happening. But people have to spend a lot on EPCs. And then there's the interest rates. They've gone from 0.5% to just below 6%. And I'm not saying feel sorry for landlords, but there's a point in time where the rents still don't achieve what the mortgage payment is. And then in the background, a number of years ago was called the tenants tax by an organisation, also called Section 24 tax. And what it does, it means that landlords can no longer claim the interest rates off their tax return. So if your mortgage is now, say, £800, because you've gone from 0.5 to 6.5%, and your rent the same rate, you actually are paying for your tenants to live there, because you are taxed on the full amount of rental income, despite the fact that most of it is being paid in interest. So you can easily end up paying £200 per month on top of your interest rate to pay your tax bill.
And for many landlords, it's a business. Well, for all landlords, it's a business. Unless a business makes profit, it's not a viable business.
Yeah, so they could sell.
And therefore, they sell up.
Yeah.
And I do believe as well that interest rates, was it 5.25% of the Bank of England? I can't see it coming down much. Probably about 4.5%.
18 months time.
But the sad thing is, I can't see rents coming down.
No, they tend to ratchet. They stay up. They may come down by 5%.
Yeah.
But when they do come down, it's seasonal. So they tend to come down around October, November time because it's Christmas coming up. But they're not currently.
So, as a business, everybody's losing out as I see it. Landlords are losing out, tenants are losing out. It's crazy. And the government, in the UK, we're not building enough houses, and therefore there is fundamentally a housing problem. And the government policies just haven't helped that at all.
No, and we're generations behind fixing it as well.
Yeah.
And there's this, and I'm not saying support for landlords. I'm saying tax landlords, but tax properly. But equally, then playing devil's advocate, how many landlords there don't pay tax at all? And so those of us who do pay tax are paying a part for those who don't pay tax. However, HMRC are coming down on landlords heavily, and if you get caught not paying tax, the fines are quite eye-watering. But there is a scheme with HMRC, which I strongly advise you go through an accountant to do, where you can go to HMRC, say, hands up, didn't pay my tax, can we have a discussion? So talk to an accountant, don't do it yourself, and you can go and basically it's an amnesty of landlords.
Yeah, it's serious stuff, this. But as I say, death and taxes is something that you can't avoid. But as I say, if you do find that you're worried about it, then take advice and see if you can sort it out.
I think one last thing for me, as a landlord and a business owner, I think a good accountant is essential. If you've got 10 houses, for example, and you're paying £1,000 a year for your accountant, that's not accountancy, that's just bookkeeping. They're just submitting for you the paperwork in the correct format. You need proper tax advice. Which 10 houses in Rotherham, let's say it's worth £1 million. You had £1 million business, would you be paying £1,000 a year tax for tax returns? You wouldn't be. So people need to take more as a business that is a hobby. And it's this whole attitude of, it's my retirement. Well, if you don't get it right now, it won't be.
Yeah, serious stuff. So that's enough from me and enough from him. So we'll see you again. Take care.